Right, we have a product rule for square roots, and as you might expect, we also have a quotient rule for square roots. So right here, if you look at the number that's under the radical sign, it's a quotient. It's one number. Quotient's the result of a division problem. It's one number divided by another number, 25 divided by 16. The quotient rule we're going to use states that if you have the square root of the quotient of two numbers, a over b, you can rewrite that as the square root of a over the square root of b. So we can separate them out and make them have two radical signs instead of one. So this will help us simplify this, because we can take the square root of 25, we can take the square root of 16. So let's rewrite it as the square root of 25 over the square root of 16 using the property rule. Square root of 25, as you know, is 5. Square root of 16 is 4, so this simplifies to 5/4. Another version of the product rule lets you take the square root, it's just going the other direction, of one number divided by the square root of a second number and put it all under one radical sign. So it's just going the opposite way we did here. This time we're going back that way. Okay? And that will help us simplify this expression. Again, you could work with them separately, but it turns out in this case, if we put them together, we can actually simplify this expression, whereas it would be difficult to do it with them separated out. So I'm going to first of all write this all under one radical sign. So I can rewrite this instead of with separate radicals as 150 x cubed over 2x. Put it all under one radical sign. Now, the radical sign is still on the outside, but we can work inside. Let's put the 150 and 2 together as one fraction, and let's put the x cubed together with x over there. And now we can simplify those. 150 divided by 2 is 75. X cubed over x, using our property, that would be x to the third power, the 3 minus 1 power, because it's x to the first. And so that's going to be x squared. Okay, that's simpler than what we started with. Instead of a fraction, now we just have a term that doesn't have a fraction. But we're still not done. We need to look at what's underneath the radical sign and see if we can go further. Let's use our property, our product property, to separate this into the square root of 75 times the square root of x squared. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 75, if you remember from earlier, since the square root of 75 is the same as the square root of 25 times 3, this is going to just give us x when we simplify it. This is square root of 25 is 5. I'll write it out. Times square root of 3 times x. Square root of 25 is 5. So we get 5 times the square root of 3. X, again, you want to not write the x here after the radical sign because it could be confusing. Rewrite it as 5x times the square root of 3. And that is quite a bit simpler than the expression that we started with.